what it means to be a man. You might have clicked on this video because you're wanting to know my opinion on how a man should look like or be like, or maybe you are just trying to get some guidance, I guess. Now, I am 15 years old, so I haven't been through nearly enough struggles to figure out how to actually be a man, like a fully grown adult, or go through some of the things that a lot of men should never even go through. So I'm just here to share my experience and what I think a man should be like. Now, this is coming from someone who doesn't really have a father figure because my dad isn't really in my life. Now, he's in my life, but he's not in my life. He doesn't live in the same city as me. He doesn't really talk to me. And that is partially on me because I do want to keep my distance from him just because my morals don't necessarily match up with his, just because he's done some things that I completely disagree with and that he should never even think, no one should ever even think of doing the things that he's done. Now, personally, my experiences are kind of limited because of the father figure situation. Now, that also means that I am kind of on my own with figuring out how to be a man because my uncle lives in Florida and he is a very, very significant father figure to me. And I love him. Andy, if you're watching this, freaking love you. And my grandpa, who doesn't really have the time to be a father figure nor the energy because he's always burnt out from taking care of me and my sister. So, love them. They are very amazing people, and I'm very thankful for them. Now, on to the subject of being a man. I don't really know how to be a man, if I'm being honest. I'm still figuring out, like much of you are, and I'm a young man myself, and I want to help all the young men out there who want to maybe go to the gym or be inspired or get motivated and have discipline. For me, being a man means having discipline, dedication, and motivation at times for the hardships that are brought onto you. And something that resonates with me is God wouldn't put you in a situation he knew you couldn't handle. So if you've thought about mental health issues or have mental health issues or things of that nature, you know that if you don't have someone to almost ground you, it can be hard to deal with those things on your own. And as men, as males, we're taught to not let out your emotions or be a man, suck it up. And there is a good part to that, where as a man, it is okay to cry, it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to let them out and show them. But as a man, you need to be able to control those emotions and regulate them. Now, if that's crying or letting out your anger on good addictions instead of bad, like smoking, drinking, vaping, that's a good thing that you don't do those things and take your anger out in things like the gym, like me. Whenever gym is my therapy. Now, I should definitely be going to an actual therapist because if I'm being honest, some of my emotions are bottled up. But luckily, I have friends that I can talk to about those things that are more than willing to hear me out. And that is another thing. As a man, it's okay to reach out, and some people might not have close friends like that. And that's why it's important to branch out and kind of get yourself out there so you can find your people. Because if you have people that have the same goals as you, you can bring each other up. Like me, Caden, JJ, Tarun, we're all in a pretty close friend group and we all build each other up. Now, we tell each other the hard truths and we also comfort each other when we need it. And that is the most important thing, is keeping people around you. Like my dad, I don't think he's kept the best people around him because of the situation he's in now. Now, he is a very wealthy man. I don't want to make it seem like he's completely a bad guy, because he has one or two things that are good about him. But some of the people he hung out with in high school might not have brought him to the best place he could be emotionally and physically. And that's why it's so important to me to keep good people around me and keep morals tight so I can break the cycle, because my grandpa is not the best guy either. But my step-grandpa, amazing dude, freaking love him. I love all my grandparents and all my family, but it is important to break the chain if you need to. Now, some people have good fathers who they look up to as a role model, but to those guys who don't, find a role model. My biggest role models are people like Kevin, who lost both of his parents and was completely lost in life, and then found a sport like bodybuilding to help ground him. And some people, they don't find good addictions to ground them. They find things like smoking and drinking. Now, it's not necessarily bad to have a beer. Obviously, if you are of age, if you are 21 and up, don't go underage drinking. That's just stupid. But if you are of age, having one beer or a glass of wine every once in a while is not a bad thing. I personally just disagree with drinking as a whole, so I'm pushing that as far away as I can, because I have an addictive personality. If I take one sip, then that might lead me down the rabbit hole of not breaking the cycle. So I want to be a man in a sense and push those things away that I know need to be pushed away, because at the end of the day, making the hard choices are the best choices, because taking the easy way out might not be the way to do it in the long run. And I would rather be the person that puts 100% of my effort into something than 99% of my effort, or 150% instead of 100%. Now, there's obviously going to be days where you don't feel like doing the 100%, but if you do the 100% instead of that 99%, you're going to feel so much better in the long run. You might be tired, you might be demotivated, but if you have the discipline and dedication to something, that won't matter. As long as you put all of your effort into good things, then I believe that you can totally achieve your goal in the long run. So I guess all I'm trying to say is just believe in yourself and be the man you're supposed to be. Some people, they take pride in drinking and partying and having all these girls, but at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, having a smaller group of friends, pushing away the partying lifestyle, pushing away all that stuff, can lead you down a path that you're supposed to be on. Now, if your dream is to be an office worker and that's what you want to do and you're genuinely happy with that job, you have a family, you're supporting the family, then totally do that. But chase your dreams and fulfill the potential that you're supposed to fulfill, because that is what keeps people on the right track. Being disciplined and dedicated is far better than discipline. And a lot of people don't teach that, I guess. My dad isn't one to teach that, but I think that's going to be it. I kind of got off track there for a little bit, but I do hope this video finds the right people and helps the people it needs to help, because I really do want people to realize that you don't need a father figure in your life, but at least have someone who you look up to, because that can help you be your own person. And I'm not saying to be exactly like that person, because obvious uniqueness is what brings the world up. Those are the people that are going to be the most happy people, and people who actually enjoy themselves because they are their own person and they're not copying someone. So look up to people, have people who motivate you and bring you joy, obviously, but be your own person, live up to your potential, chase your dreams, follow your heart, boys, follow your gut. That's going to bring you a far in life, I can guarantee you. I'm only 15. I have a lot of things to figure out in life. I want to be the best man I can be for my family and my friends, so I can build them up and we can come up together. So that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it if you've watched this all the way through. Don't forget to chase your dreams, chase your potential, live up to the standard, fulfill your promises, live up to your name. Why is that your name? I guess off track. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love each and every one of you. Chase your dreams, live up your potential. I've said it a million times now. End video.